Welcome to Atlas Core Learns From. And today, we are joined by Dr. Parag Khanna, who is a leading global strategy advisor, world traveler, and best-selling author. He's written 7 books. Esquire named him one of the 75 most influential people of the 21st century. He's the founder and managing partner of FutureMap, a data and scenario-based strategic advisory firm. In short, I would describe you, Parag, as a thought leader on our global future. And in your latest book, Move, The Forces Uprooting Us, you focus on the global war on talent, on mobility and technology. And you move the unit of analysis away from states or cities to the humans, the 8 billions of us. So of course, focusing on talent, my question to you would be, how do you spot talent? What's an anecdote you can share of how you found someone who brings that certain something that you needed to have around you and your team and your organization?
Well, thank you so much, Bijan, and congratulations on the success of Atlas Core. I just think that you and I are really fellow global citizens, and that's certainly what attracts me to what you're doing. So let's talk about spotting talent. I have built the vast majority of my new company, Climate Alpha, entirely online, entirely on a virtual platform, very much similar to what you're doing in terms of facilitating this global exchange and helping people spot talent, incorporate talent, but doing so entirely remotely given the circumstances. And I wouldn't go back to the old way after COVID, because it's tougher to make a good impression, to have that go-getter spirit, to coordinate and to work in teams when you're not physically together. So to me, the test, in a way, almost of character has not been, do we all live in the same place and can we show up at the office together and get along and work together because we have to, but to actually go that extra mile and schedule those extra calls with people who you've also never met. And to, in a way, to me, the telltale sign of success, as I've been hiring the last couple of years during COVID, is how well do people move the operations away from me, the point of contact who hired each person, into networking with each other and carrying on that parallel work and cooperation and coordination without needing there to be a central node. And that's in effect what digitization is supposed to enable. But that doesn't mean that every personality type is suited to embrace that manner of working. So I've learned a lot as I've been hiring people and watching those dynamics unfold. And to me now, looking at that kind of network capability for coordination as maybe an intuitive skill is what I'm looking for the most these days.
So that includes self-management, obviously, right? So people being able to manage themselves and other teams and work towards making the organization successful. Wonderful. My second question would be around, with all these young leaders out there looking for opportunities, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to them in order to succeed in making a difference in the world?
Mm-hmm. I still believe, and this may seem old-fashioned in light of what we were just talking about, and also in light of the incredible flourishing of digital opportunity for people, no matter where they are physically. Still, I believe that there's no higher virtue than in embracing mobility and gaining that actual, tangible, firsthand, immersive experience in places around the world, because that brings with it not only skill sets in terms of language and experience and professional domains, and obviously adaptation to different cultures and environments, that for sure, but what comes with all of that is a certain resilience. I think that it is really, it's a lot harder to do what each of us does if we also have to do it somewhere else and adapt and conform to other people's expectations and practices and habits and traditions, rather than just in the comfort of our own home or country. So just embracing mobility is paramount. I still encourage young people as much as possible to go out and travel and collect those experiences.
That's wonderful. One of the things we say at Atlas Core is change your perspective, change the world. And it seems to be something that you're aligned with as well. My final question, then I'll let you go, is at Atlas Core, we share a fun fact at almost every meeting, something that people don't know about us that would make them smile?
Well, for me, really my great awakening, even though I had a very adventurous childhood and lived in, a few countries even before the age of 10, for me, the seminal moment, the real wake-up call that has shaped my entire life since that moment was when I was 12 years old and the Berlin Wall fell. And at the time, my family and I were in New York, and I was in the 8th grade. But my father had the wisdom and the foresight and the kind of adventurous spirit to say, we need to go and see this. We need to be there. And so lo and behold, within a couple of weeks, we were on a plane, flew to Frankfurt, drove overnight to Berlin. And there it was, right? The wall, as you know, wasn't just a linear wall. It actually wrapped around half the city. And so we arrived there and we went to Pariser Platz in front of the Brandenburg Gate. We rented hammers and chisels, paying in Deutschmarks to these locals to participate in literally hacking down the Berlin Wall. And I still have pieces of it that I keep by right at my desk at the office. And I brought back lots of pieces of the Berlin Wall that year and handed them out to my fellow 8th grade students. But honestly, my entire life since then feels like a footnote to that moment, because it was such an eye-opening experience that I will obviously never forget.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. And the other fun fact is we could have met there hammering the wall, because I grew up in that city. Parag, thank you so much for joining us, for sharing your advice, and I look forward to connecting again.
My pleasure. Good luck to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.